And I am back. Welcome to the Dick and Conversation podcast. I'm Elissa. Hopefully, you're listening to me on Amazon, iHeart, Pandora, Spotify, or you're looking at me on the tube of YouTube. Um, I've been gone for a while, like quite a while, for some months. And I kept saying, like, okay, I got to get back at it. I got to get back at it. Got to get back at it. And I hadn't. And I'm working on a project that has had me stressed because, as some people have known, this is my passion project podcast. This doesn't pay my bills. I'm not a full-time content creator. However, comma, as my god brother would say, if anyone wants to sponsor me, I'm more than willing to be sponsored so that I don't have to actually work in corporate America, which I don't know if I still would. Um, as I always got my water and my stand. So, if this is your first time here with me, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have heard me before, welcome back. And if you are new, I hope that you will enjoy this podcast. My socials where you can reach me, contact me, or just see me. My YouTube channel is Dick and Conversation channel, Dick and Conversation podcast channel. Like, subscribe, share. I always forget that, but I remembered it this time. Make a little notes over here. My Instagram is Dick and Conversation underscore podcast. My Facebook is Dick and Conversation podcast page. And my email is dickandconvo@gmail.com. And my blue sky is dickandconvo.bsky.social. Yep, there we go. So, what have I been doing since I've been gone? I've been getting my daughter situated at college for her sophomore year. My son graduated from his tech program. Very proud of them. I've been working. I've been working so okay, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I haven't even taken a vacation. I didn't go to any concerts, and Detroit has been popping this summer. Detroit is just popping. Period. It's really like a vacation spot now. I'm not in Detroit. I'm Detroit-ish. I'm outside the outskirts, the slip side of Detroit, but I'm close enough where I can enjoy some of the festivities. So go Lions. I've been trying to get this health under control. This blood pressure, baby, is nothing to play with. I have been battling my blood pressure issues, hell, almost 20 years now. And it goes up, it goes down, it goes, up, way up. Then it go to the basement. But I'm trying to get it where it can stabilize because for the past, I guess, week and a week and a half, 2 weeks or so, it's been kind of up. But I'm trying to get it together. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Send me good vibes or burn some sage, send a prayer, whatever it is that you do. Let me get this under control. So, this is a new season. This is season 5. Can you believe I've been doing this? Not 5 years, but I've been doing this for 5 seasons. Some seasons were longer than the other. The first season, I think I did like 20 episodes. And then I think season 3, I did maybe 4 episodes. It's been short. I need to decide, like, what is a real season for me? But I always just look at it as if you take a break, let's more than a month, then obviously that's the end of the season. So come back fresh and new. So this is season number 5. I'm very excited to be back. But today's topic, I don't know, might offend some people. And if it does, well, I ain't trying to make no friends. I'm 52 years old. I think all my friends are friends as it is, and I'm not accepting new applications. All my friends that I have are the friends that I've had. Um, and I'm not looking for any new ones. But I did want to tackle this subject. It is the what do you bring to the table thing um, that has been brewing for 6 years that I know of. That's the longest I've had that conversation. And I know I said, sorry, let me click on this. And I know that I have said to myself, I'm never having that conversation with any man ever again. I'm good on that conversation. I'm not having that conversation with anybody again. What do you bring to the table? Because the first time I even heard that was when I first started dating strapping young lad back in the day, years ago. And it was a discussion of what do you bring to the table? I need a woman that has this and has that, and I was like, well, is that really a conversation? And come to find out, it really is a conversation. I mean, we all have been seeing it on social media where these men say, well, I want a woman that has this and a man that can provide that, and I'm just like, for real, y'all? I get it. Here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I get it. To a degree, I get it. Like if you're young and you're trying to establish yourself, you're in your late 20s, early 30s, then I get it. You do want, someone that's probably, financially stable, or at least somewhat stable, or have the potential, or they're on their way to becoming financially stable. Because I know me as a woman, I done had some bum suckers in my life. Some bum asses. I think I mentioned it before. Them kind that say, let me borrow money and I give it back to you on Friday. But they never said which Friday it was. So I guess that Friday still has not arrived. And I guess I get it back when that Friday roll around because I haven't met it just yet. But that's what I'm talking about. And I get it. Men don't want women who are actually trying to like use them as a sponsor. I get that part too. Like I get the era of the passenger princess and those that want to be taken care of and treated like a kept woman, which back in the day that used to be a bad thing. Like she's a kept woman. That's what my mom and them used to say about, a man who had a woman on the side. That's his kept woman. So I don't know when that became a good thing. But I get that there are those who want to live that way. But that whole conversation of what do you bring to I said I'm never having that conversation again. And here's why. I have been single for when did I get my divorce? About 14 years now. And I've been able to take care of myself and the kids and, still travel and do things that I find are fun and live a, okay lifestyle, which hence this podcast, take care of yourself, because if a man comes and he goes, all it really took was dick and conversation, which we'll get to that later. Um, and I've been able to kind of take care of myself and do things and, amass a reasonably nice career that I like and, amass my education and apply my education when I need to and still, get some friends, get a little, male friends, female friends, hang out with cousins and family and go on vacations and such. But I'm 52. So this conversation that I'm about to have, this topic is for those that are about mid to late 40s and beyond, maybe early 40s, about 40 and over. Because I look at it this way. If you're still trying to have a conversation of what somebody brings to the table, and you're talking tangibles like money and house and car and job and things like that, um, it is like a friend of mine, Rod, said, hey, Rod, you're dating down. Ladies, gentlemen, if you are talking to a person and you're trying to see if this is a potential mate and you're saying, well, what do you quote unquote bring to the table? I don't even like that phrase, obviously, because I roll my eyes without even realizing it, and they big, so you can't miss it. What do you bring to the table? And they lead with, I have my own money, my own car, my own house. I have a job. As Rodney told me, anyone who's impressed by the material things, and you have to list that, only person who's impressed by it is somebody who doesn't have it. And if you're at 40, mid 40s, 50, mid 50s and beyond, you should have that. And if they don't have that, what are you doing? What you doing dating now? I don't want to say you dating down, but you dating down. Like I can't imagine that I would date a dude who don't have his own place yet. Like I ain't even talking about a house. You don't even I mean, even if you don't have your own apartment, you have your own place. I can imagine dating a man and I'm 52 years old and he doesn't have his own car. Like at this point in life, you should have amassed that. You should have amassed your house and your car and have your money and a job. Because if not, then what am I doing? What are we doing? Not to say you can't be with someone if they're, going to school, if they have their own business, fine. But if they don't have that, who you staying with? What you driving? Where you going? You don't have a job. Where you going? How you get there? And I get it in larger cities. There's mass transportation. Hopefully, you're taking the subway or train, or, so when you get to do your job. But if not, then what are you doing? I just found that to be interesting. So the reason why I end up saying I'm never going to do that is because um, I had a friend and they were busy. They were extremely busy with their work schedule, and they was like, "Man, I need to update my resume." And so, "Oh, I can do that for you. There's no problem. I can update your resume for you." And they're like, "Yeah, right." Well, so look, I could update the resume, so just send it to me, and I can see what I can do. They sent me the resume. A little water. They sent me the resume, and I updated the resume, sent it back to them. They were like, "Oh, you know what? This is kind of nice. Kind of, I'm surprised. You did a good job." And that's when it hit me. That's when I realized, like, I'm not having that conversation ever again because I could do what I do. I could do what you do. I could do what you can't do. But I'm not gonna have to describe what I bring to a table anymore. So there's this content creator. Her name is Shonda, life coach. I think her name is Shonda, life coach. I know it's life coach Sean on TikTok, and she pops up every now and again. And she had this particular video where she spoke about when someone asks, "What do you bring to the table?" It's like an audition. Like you have to prove yourself or prove your worth, and a man doesn't. Like he's already have an established value.
For me, if a man asks me what would I bring to the table, it's telling me to audition for him. It's telling me that he thinks that his value is already understood, his value is already clear, like he has nothing to prove, but I do.
As a woman, you have to prove your value to be valuable. Now, that's not just with women. There are men, who also go through that same kind of ringer. Like, can you support me? Can you take care of me? Do I look like I'm the type to pay half on stuff? And I get it. There are, those who go through that. What do you make type of interview that women have? Will you be able to support a family? Can you support a family? Can you do this? Do you work out? Is your health good? I get it. It is both sides of the coin, truly both sides of the coin. I just think it's placed more in social media, I believe, on women. And I remember having this not argument, debate with someone I was talking to. And I was like, you know what? I don't think that's in other cultures. Like, why are we having this conversation? Like, why black people? Why is us? Why are we having this conversation? Well, in digging around, it's not. It's not just a black thing. I thought it was. I was wrong. I owe Jawbreaker an apology. Jawbreaker, I was wrong. So I saw that where other women were saying it too of other cultures where they were speaking about bringing it to the table or, the value of a woman or asset of a man, things like that. And I was like, what? We really having this conversation? So I saw that and was like, oh, okay. But in Shonda's description, she was saying it feels like an audition because I remember having that question posed to me, like not necessarily what do you bring to the table, but what are you looking for? And I was like, what? And at that time, I was kind of like, not swinging from the chandelier. Okay, I was a little swinging from the chandelier, that little wild phase. But I was like, I'm trying to find myself. I don't know what I'm looking for. And I thought that was an odd question that was posed to me. And I said, well, why you ask that question? And he said, because a lot of women will say, I'm looking for some help. And I was like, looking for some help with what? I was having a moment, like, oh, a little naive moment. Help with what? It was like help. These women talking about they want help with their bills, they want help with their kids, they want help getting a house, they want help. I was like, there's women out there asking that? He was like, yeah, there's really women out there asking that. And I thought at that moment, I thought that was just an isolated incident with him. Like that's just you. You had that experience with one particular individual, and then he said that. I was wrong. I had a few other men tell me that. Tell me that. No, listen, there's women out here saying that. Like, I need help. Help me with these bills, help me with these kids, help me. And I'm like, oh, they want financial help, but they calling it up front. That's what they want. And if that's what you're not willing to give, then okay, then that's not your person. But here's the thing, my takeaway on that. That's fine if that's what you dating, and that's those women will need that because at least you know what they want, what they're up for. But I'm at the point now where I believe in your 40s and 50s and beyond, the thing that should be brought to the table are the intangibles. And you can't really quantify or itemize it or actually explain. Sometimes you can't even explain in detail what it is. If you get a chance, go back and listen to Meet Me at the Altar when I was talking to my guest Bruce. Hey Bruce, my brother. And he was talking about how he just brings his check home and his wife takes care of things. She takes care of things, and she cooks and does this and the other. Now it's not where he's saying she cooks, but here's the thing that I said that's an intangible. You need to have somebody who is in tune with you, who has your well-being. It's the intangibles. When I say intangible, I mean you can't touch it. A partner who, if you go to the doctor with her or with him, and the doctor says where your cholesterol is too high, or your blood pressure is now reaching um, a concern level. I'm saying blood pressure because me, or you're borderline diabetic. Does your partner know how to say, okay, we got to adjust our lifestyle, or I got to adjust the lifestyle for you, where now I have to cook, foods without salt, or I have to find a salt substitute. Do you have that partner who knows how to comfort you when you're upset at work? I think that for me, that's an important thing, and I think for a lot of other women. So when you reach a certain age, the things that you want, it's not where you saying, "Oh, he got to have this money, she got to have that money." Because here's the thing you got to think about: they can make the money, they can have the money. Don't mean they'll spend it on you. Don't know that doesn't mean they know how to share it with you. Doesn't mean that they're good with money. I'm sure everybody knows people who make a lot of money, but they always broke. You wonder what the hell you doing with your money? How are you broke? But they're not good with money. They're not necessarily financially savvy. That's an intangible. You need a person who, at this point, what they're bringing to the table, say, look, I know how to save money. I know how to budget. I know how, when you having a bad day at work, how to actually encourage you for the next day, or to comfort you because of that day, or to learn how to shut the hell up and just listen, because that's what I'm working on. Anyway, I listen without interrupting. That's an intangible. When you're 40 and 50, life has more things that are they're more enjoyable, but also there are some more challenges. So if you have a grandchild and your grandchild has been diagnosed with being autistic, and you're dating this person, and you tell them, well, my grandchild has been diagnosed with being autistic, do you know how to comfort them? Do you know how to explain autism to them? Do you know how to explain and let them know that that's not a bad thing? As we're getting older in this particular age range, Gen X, we're losing our parents. Our parents are beginning to transition into another life or afterlife, or just pass away, however you want to say it. Do you know how to comfort that person? Can you bring that to the table? Do you know how to offer comforting words? Do you know how to say, hi, I'm sorry, I'm here for you, how you need me, when you need me, and not just be like, well, we all got to die, because that's not very comforting. Or they lived a good life. That's not very comforting. Or they lived a long time. Or that's not very comforting. Do you know that that's what a person that you may want to be involved with needs at their table? It's like my pastor said, my former pastor said, are you the person that you're looking for is looking for? Like, if you know what you're looking for, and you know what kind of man or woman you want, but are they looking for you? So that's the thing you got to think of. What you want brought to your table, and the person that you want to bring it to, whose table you want to bring it to, that may not be what they want at their table. And you may not be that person. And that's okay. But, you got to think about that. Yeah, I don't want that. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he he looks at everything from a marketing perspective professionally. That's what he does, marketing. And he says, well, yeah, listen, I reached that stage of life where all the things that I thought that I used to love, or yeah, not thought, but he used to love. He said women was his type. What was it? What's your type? Women. He said that he's reached that point in his life where the things that he used to love and like in a woman just ain't it anymore. Like a woman talking about, oh yeah, I know you interested in me because I got this big booty. Yeah, you probably like big booties. And he said, I love it. Listen, I love the big booty. Oh, I love a big booty. But reaching the stage of life, a big booty is a big booty is a big booty. Like, yeah, you got a big booty, but the two other women behind you, they got a big booty too. What skills do you have to set yourself apart? And I was like, ooh, that's deep. And he also went on to explain to me about people who are complaining about, oh, I get this kind of guy and I'm attracting this kind of guy. And like I say, he has a marketing mind. And he thought, well, how are you advertising your product? If you are the product, if you are a brand, and everybody should think of themselves as a brand, if you're single and, or divorcee or whatever it is that you're available, and you're considering dating, um, what are you advertising? What is your product? What are you advertising it to whom? Are you advertising it to? Who's your demographic? If you want a man that loves the Lord and he's, going to be concerned about you and he wants to support you emotionally and he knows how to support you mentally and give you physical and mental and emotional safety, um, are you presenting yourself that way? Are you, doing that? And, is that how you're advertising your product? Because if not, you keep wondering why I keep getting these dudes that just want me for sex. Because you advertising you sexy. Speaking from experience, I kept wondering why are these dudes trying to, that I'm speaking from experience. That I've had a few that they just want to holler at me when when it's time to jump it off, and I'm just like, yeah, they was all right. Like, but why we just doing this all we do? That's all I was advertising. So I can't be upset with who was buying my product if that's how I was marketing my product. So it's me like that too. I know a man, nice guy from what I know of him, attractive, you know, and I haven't had many conversations with him, but I remember the first conversation I had with him. The first conversation I had with him, he told what he did, how many hours he worked, how many days he worked, and if I'm a gold digging, sack chasing, trying to be a passenger princess all the way through and through, baby. If I was an opportunist, oh, I'd have been holler, oh, so what you doing later? Let me get your number, cause he led with his money, but I'm sure he probably feels he's getting used a lot for his money. But when you lead with money, that's what you attract. That's your product. You ain't lead with, I'm a smart dude and I got these skills. This is what I do, but I had to go through all these years of training and I had to, hone my craft. And sometimes, it's the intricate details I have to do at work. And if not, this whole operation will shut down. And no, you led with, oh, well, I do such and such. And, I work 6, 7, sometimes 7 days a week, 12, 13 hours a day. I'm just like, oh, you basically let me know you got money. Okay, that's cool. You let me know you got money, but I ain't interested in your money. So I'm sure he has encountered quite a few women who just about his money. That's the advertisement. And I think a lot of men do that. I had a guy I dated. I have no problem saying this, and I've told him this, and he'd be like, "Oh, just shut your ass up." That's what he says to me. Shut your ass up. I said, "You raised me, dude. You raised me. You taught me a lot about me, and I'm sure if a lot of men knew the things that he told me, they'd be mad. Like, bro, you giving up the game. You giving up the game." He told me though. He said, "You know what? Listen." He said, "You know what? Um." Men lead with money. That's their kind of their little thing to reel you in. And if you don't bite on a man's money, it's very difficult for a man to reel a woman in. And I thought that's probably true because I was telling him about another guy I was dating, not dating or whatever. And the guy was telling me about how extra money he got per month. Extra money, just money that he had from retirement. And I was like, I don't even know why he's telling me that. He said, "Oh, I do." He said, "You missed your cue." And I was like, "What does that mean?" He said, "When a man tells you how much money he has, that's for you to ask for it. He wants to spend it on you, but you missed it." And I was like, "Well, I'm not a money chasing type of person." He was like, "Yeah, but anytime a man asks you if you need, the answer is always yes." Do you need? Yes. Do you want? Yes. The answer is always yes. I said, "Well, my mama raised me to have my own, to have my own money, do my own, have my own car." He said, "Your mama was right. 100% right. But she left off part B. But if somebody offers it to you, the answer is always yes." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, fine." That's a good point. Good point. Because, that's good to enhance your lifestyle. I just finished talking to my ex husband before I did this. "Hey, Scott, what's up?" And I asked him, I said, "I'm about to record this episode and it's about what's being brought to the table." I said, "Anything you want to tell me?" And I said, "Just keep in mind, anything you say can and will be used on a podcast. So, I don't care." And he says, "Your partner should enhance your life. They should not be a liability. They should make your life better. They should make your life greater. They should not be an expense to you. You know, you shouldn't look at them as being some type of liability to your life. If they're not bringing value to your life, then they need to go." Now he wasn't talking about me. Before somebody say, "Well, that's why y'all ain't together now." If y'all wanna know why we went together, then y'all gotta go back to the other episodes. Other season. He was actually on the show. That you'll find out why we went together. But he said that a person should enhance your life, and I was like, that's true. And that's it's like I say, it's the intangibles that at a particular age you should have, because it's like my younger brother said, if you ask a person why you love me and they can actually list why they love you, the things they love about you, what happens when all that goes away? Like if you love her hair or her cooking, or you love his biceps or his tats or his six pack or he's tall, all of those things can easily go away, because as you get older, as we are getting older, things are leaving. As a lady, when we hit menopause, our hair thins. So if you love a woman who loves that, "Oh, I just love her hair, run my fingers through her hair," you hit menopause, their hair might thin out and it may go. If you love that man with that six pack, baby, that six pack can turn into a keg, as they do. When they get a little older, they get the little, the little Michael Jordan tummy. Michael Jordan got the little tummy now. They get the six pack turns into a keg. And if they're tall as you get older, you shrink a little bit. And if they're really smart, you know, we forget things. We just get older and forget things. If you can literally list the things that a person has, the tangibles, especially the house, the car, they got a great job, the company may get shut down. And in this economy, under this president, this administration, God knows anything can happen. Um, they may lose their job. They may crash that car. House could burn to the ground. And then what? What is that to sustain you as you get older? Do you have someone that can support you in the ways where as health takes on its natural progression or degression, regression, not degression, that's not a word, regression. Do you have a person that can support you, go to your doctor appointments with you? Ask the questions you don't know that you need to ask. When they ask, like, "Okay, so what medications are you taking?" Do you have that partner who knows your medicine as well as you do? They can tell you the symptoms, like, "Well, yeah, he has been going to the bathroom more so," or, "Yeah, she has been a little more crankier than usual." Do you have that? That's what I'm talking about with the intangibles. That's what I'm talking about. Do you have that person that will stand up and clap for you in your front row when you achieve, when you have a promotion? Do you have that person who says, "Man, you so deserving. You deserve it. I know how hard you work. Congratulations. Or do you got that person that's in that balcony going like, how's that encouraging? You need to have that partner that's encouraging, that supports you, that knows how to support you. It's the intangibles. That's what you should want brought to your table. Because all that other stuff, baby, that stuff will go. Even if it's the physical. I'm not gonna say this without making it sound so dirty. If she once had a kiddie pool and it has now become a sandbox, do you still love her? Will you still love her? Will you try to go out and find another kiddie pool to play in and splash around? Because she's gotten a little older and her kiddie pool has turned into a sandbox. Will you? Or ladies, if that upright organ that used to play all them tunes and all night long, but now it can't play nothing, will you still love him? Because the upright organ don't play no more. What do you do? I mean, you got your rose up in there, your magic Dawn wine. I've been single a long time, so if you know, you know. But even that's something to really think about because I think a lot of couples stay together because of the physical aspect, because he puts it down or because she backs it up, and it's all great. But what happened when the kiddie pool's a sandbox? And what happened when the upright organ don't play anymore? Then what do you do? Do you still love that person? Do you love them enough to actually say, okay, well, don't play no more, but we can cuddle and go to sleep. We can watch TV. We can hug. Do you still want that? Or do you be like, I need more? And you just not giving it to me? What do you do? I don't know. I just wanted to touch on this just a little bit, just to make sure I discuss that daggone. What do you bring to the table? Um, there's a comedian, TK Kirkland, who had I saw his clip. He was on Drink Champs. And thankfully he said this before he started drinking in real good. Start drinking good. Where he kind of said the same thing. Like when you have a person and you get older.
I desire you, because guess what happens one day? Most people say I date her or I love her because she makes me laugh. Well, one day don't make you laugh anymore. One day, she's not beautiful anymore. One day, the things that you like about that person is gone. So what I want to share with people here, you want to meet someone that you can get into the depths of their soul. That's what you love. Because most of us are surface, artificial in a sense, right? We're surface. But we got to get so deep because as we get older, we're about to lose all of this, whatever that is. Some might be in a wheelchair, somebody might be sick. You want someone to love you that when you start bowel moving on yourself, they don't mind turning you over and wiping your ass. You understand what I'm saying? Right. You don't mind someone you can't walk one day. They love you so much they'll do whatever they can to get you in that chair and walk you down the stairs. Thanks. You don't want someone to take you somewhere and leave you there.
Yeah, you done alone.
And you start having bowel movements. Do you have a person that's gonna actually like clean you up? Do you have a person, if you can't get up them stairs anymore, that will put you on their back and take you up them stairs? Because you need to have a person of substance. And that's what you need to look for. That's what you need brought to your table. That's what you need to see. Because, all that other stuff, I can guarantee that almost cussed. That sugar go away. That sugar go away. I can say it how I really feel it. That sugar go away. But do you have a person of substance? Paul Pierce, NBA player Paul Pierce. Uh, but sometimes Paul wilding. I don't know what Paul, what going on, Paul? Like Paul, what you doing? What you smoking? You went too many with the edibles. How many milligrams did you eat? But he did say this, and a lot of people may have been offended, but I got what he was saying because Paul Pierce is kind of he's up in age now. I ain't gonna say up in age, but he's not in the NBA. He's not that 20 something kid playing with the Celtics anymore. But he's a little older, and he said, these dudes and those that have all this money, and I guess he's speaking because he's around players in the NBA and entertainment and whatever else. And he's saying they look at women and be like, oh, she bad. Oh, she look good. Oh, look at her Instagram. And he was like, bro, she a 9, she a 10. Get you, he was like, get you a 5 or a 6 and put some elbow in it. And he was like, get you one that's gonna put some elbow in it, put some work in it. And it's funny to hear it, but when I saw it, I went like, yeah, the intangibles. You want a woman that's beyond just
Leave these little pretty girls alone, bro. They don't put their elbow in it. I'm gonna keep it 100. Over there looking at, oh, she bad. Oh, look at her Instagram. Oh, she a 9, she a 10. No, I'll get you a 5 or a 6 who gonna put some elbow into it and gonna be down for you on some 100. You know what I'm saying? They gonna look at you like, why he with her? Don't worry about why I'm with her. Cause she gonna do everything you ain't doing. 100%. And that's the new wave we should be on, fellas. Like, man, forget all that how you look when you with your arm around her. Nah, she ain't got no substance to her. And
looks because anything can happen. I know there was a famous little popular little Instagram lady, and she got in a really bad car accident. She doesn't look the same. And I don't care how many BBLs and breast implants and veneers you get. I always wanted some veneers to cover my gap, but I'm good now. Veneers you get, something like that happens. Then what? Then what? You have to have substance. You have to have something beyond your looks, your Instagram, your filter on your Instagram. You have to have some substance to support this person or, whoever. That's what should come to the table. That's what should come to the table. Now, let me not just go this way. Because if you are that person and you say, you know what, I want a man that's gonna take care of me. He bring to the table, he need to bring some money to take care of me. And I want to live a particular lifestyle. I don't want to work. I feel my value is cute enough. I'm cute enough where okay, he want to pay for my time. He want to be seen with me. I want to be on his arm. He want to have a good time with me. Then he needs to come to the table with some money, and he need to look a certain way because I want to have a person who's attractive and appealing. Because it don't matter if he's understanding. If I can't look at him and stand and look at him, then he they ain't go get it for me. Or men, if you want that BBL body, you want a woman with a booty. You want a woman with a big booty, little waist, big boobies, and you want that? Okay. That's hey, that's you. I'm saying for me and probably a few others that I've talked to. Okay, quite a few others that I've talked to. Now, when we look at things, if you start Googling or just look at like what do you want in a man or what do you want in a woman, I can almost guarantee of a particular age when you start hitting those 30s and 40s, women respond, I want a man to give me emotional safety. I want to feel protected. I want to feel supported. It's the intangibles. Now, them young girls want that money, take care of me, do me good, provide for me financially. And same way with young men. They want them women with the booties and the body, Let them older men be like, I want a woman to support me, give me peace. That's intangible, baby. You can't put peace down. You can't touch peace, but you know it when you get it. So that's all I wanted to touch on for right now. This is a new season. Like I said, this is my new season. I'm going to have new guests and some returning guests because I need to double back on some stuff that is involved. Now, what I have been thinking is this. I've thought about changing the name of my podcast. I've said this before. I thought about changing the name to what? I don't know. I don't know because now it has evolved into something that I didn't think that it would. This was supposed to be about me just telling about the foolishness and mayhem, fuckery and foolery that I've done when I was trying to get back into dating as a single mom and divorcee, and having to start all over and accumulating the mass of lifestyle of just having a bed because I didn't have a bed when I got divorced. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have nothing. I had some dishes, a TV that I still have, and a furniture set that I still have that I need to get rid of. But don't nobody sit on it, so why bother? But That that's what it was, and it was about dick and conversation. Because baby, like I said, I was dating some jokers. Like, you got to be kidding me, y'all. This is what's out here. I was like, the dating pool. Dating pool got piss in it. But now I have evolved a lot more. And it's not just about that. For whatever reason, this has migrated into being basically the voice for men and women who don't want to just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. So they'll inbox me, message me, text me, call me, send a message to, family, friends, brothers, ex husbands, ex lovers. I love sometimes these men to call me as if they don't know that they part of the story that I'm telling. That I'm still cool with all of them. But that's the thing. I don't know. But I don't know what I want to change it to, or if I will end up changing it. I might just keep it as dick and conversation. But I think the name is the gift and the curse. I think a lot of people are afraid to listen to it because they think it's some sexy tawdry tales of, sex and swing. I mean, that one episode was the do something dude. That was, I don't know. That's an exceptional episode. He's an exceptional individual, but it's not just wild and kinky and stuff like that. So, but I think about it. However, comma, as my nephew says, I don't um I don't know what name to change it to. So, as I was talking to my mom and telling her about thinking about it, I said, well, if you don't know what to do, don't do nothing. And she jumped in and said, right. And if you don't know what to say, just keep quiet. I said, right. Just shut up. Shut all the way up. Just shut to the top of up till you can't shut no more. Just shut up. Shut the entire hell up. So because I don't know what to change it to, or if I'm even going to change it, it'll still be taking conversation until further notice. So once again, thank you for tuning in. I'm Elissa. Thank you for listening to me on Amazon, iHeart, Pandora, Spotify, or looking at me on the tube of you. Once again, my socials are Dick and Conversation Podcast, Facebook. Facebook page. Also, I gotta click on my notes because I will forget this. Also, that's so terrible. I forget. Um, also, Dick and Conversation channel, Dick and Conversation podcast channel on YouTube. Share, like, subscribe. My Instagram is Dick and Conversation underscore podcast. My email is dickandconvo@gmail.com. My blue sky is dickandconvo.bsky.social. Did I get them all? I think I did. Once again, if you think about what you want brought to that table, because even though you're sitting there talking about, okay, I want this, that, and the other brought to the table, think about the intangibles. Think about the situation that you are in the phase of life that you're in now. It won't stay. And when you move to that next phase of life, is the person that you're looking for you, and will they be able to sustain? Once again, I'm Elissa, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.